I'm Kim Shirkey, and I'm a math teacher at Lawrence County High School, and I had this vision to use these cameras. They are just miniature document cameras, and I saw them, and I thought what a neat way that would be to help students learn to show their work in a math classroom. If as a student in a math classroom, and if you're a teacher, you know that that's one of the hardest things we have, getting students invested in spending time and energy on showing their problem-solving techniques. So this was kind of a fun and easy way to implement that. And wait a minute. Okay, the QHD camera, like I said, is a document camera. It was fun seeing them all setting out on the desks in the classroom, and they're interesting to look at, and I'd like to play this video. So gentlemen, where you... This is just a 30-second video that just shows you the camera itself and why it's so fun and easy to use. It's not going to do it. Okay, well, anyway, it's a really cute little video. So. And this one, hopefully, we can play. This is two students that are sharing how to use it. And I want to give video credits to Miss Allie Moore. She happens to be with us today, and she videoed this in her classroom, her fellow students. Oh, no. I'm sorry. That's okay. Well, this is Trey and Aubrey. And Allie, would you, can I put you on the spot since the video won't play? Would you like to share what you think about the video, the UHD camera? You want to stand up? And yes, come up here, please, and use the microphone. Well, we'll improvise, right? I'm so glad you're here.
Okay. Hi, guys. I'm Allie Moore. I'm in Miss Shirkey's pre-calculus class, and we use the UHD cameras mostly to, like, on Google Classroom or something, she'll post an assignment, and we can use the camera to video our work and maybe show her how to do it so that she knows that we understand it fully enough to teach it to another student or maybe teach it to her. So like in this video, Trey explained how to use it. He didn't really do a problem, but he explained how to use it, and then Aubrey hooked it up to her computer. So I don't really know what else. Is that good?
That's perfect. Thank you, Allie. She saved the day. And I wish I would have brought one of the cameras for this reason, but I thought, oh, it's on the video. I don't need to do that. Well, I guess I should have. Okay, so another way that I used the camera as the teacher was to create some tutoring videos to model correct problem solving so that students could see step by step. And the real benefit to me when I watched the student videos and then when I created these and posted them in Google Classroom for them to access is that it was just, you know, the step-by-step process to actually see that happen instead of being given a piece of paper after that's happened. So that was really the exciting part about it. And we've used it for formative assessment primarily. Students created a video of their work and submitted it to their teacher through Google Classroom. So I have two Algebra 2 classrooms. I used it in my pre-calculus, as Allie said, but just looking at a comparison of how it went, one class of Algebra 2 did not have the cameras, and one class did. So when I got the paper with their problem solving on it, I could just see, you know, however much they did and what their answer was. And then when I compared it to watching the videos of other students, when they actually were going through the steps, being able to see where they hesitated and where they stopped and erased and tried again, it tells you there's so much more insight into how they understand the process that you're trying to teach them. You don't, you know, a lot of times when you're looking at a paper, you don't know, well, you can't see because they don't show everything, so you can't see, did they just have trouble with the answer, or they having trouble understanding at the beginning? But through these videos, I was able to see exactly where they were struggling, and that led to being able to give more descriptive feedback. So the key benefits of these cameras that I've found so far is that I see authentic work. They have to do their own. They're sitting there creating a video, so it's their own authentic work. And I was able to give more targeted feedback. These are some examples, and we'll not try to play the videos, some examples of student work. So you can see how this student is processing very nicely through substituting in the quadratic formula and showing those steps. And there's lots of steps to a lot of math processes. So that was one. This one, If I could show you, it wouldn't be as meaningful to you as it would be to me, but I know this may sound a little strange, but I teared up watching this one. And the reason I did is because this young man has had a lot of issues. He's been failing at times and not failing at times and way behind on work and not so much, just a struggle all the time. Well, he got into creating his own problem-solving video, and to watch him go through it and to see him not give up and erased a bunch, and he went back and he did it again, and it was quite an experience, and it shocked me when I was sitting there watching. I thought, this is just the most wonderful thing. I mean, I'm really getting to see how he did, and then he went all the way through, made it to the end of the problem, and actually got the answer correct. So it was really exciting. What we learned from using the cameras so far is that students love the active learning environment. It created a fun, engaging environment, and students were 100% engaged. And like I said before, authentic problem solving was a big factor, and targeted feedback. Some data points, as far as comparing some assessment results, I did some quizzes with the students in the one class who just used the paper pencil. Just looking at their scores, I didn't see a big difference in the scores of the kids who used the cameras and the scores for their actual quiz and the paper pencil version. But there were some interesting things related to data. I think that'll come. We just haven't used them enough maybe to see that if that was a direct link to quiz scores. But the engagement was 100%. There's always a few that aren't engaged, and that wasn't the case when using the cameras, so everybody was involved. About 85% of students showed their work on the paper version of the learning target checks, compared to 100% of students showing their work step-by-step problem solving using the videos. So that was the expectation, and they rose to the occasion, so that was really great to see. And then another little piece of information that I thought was pretty interesting, we always have, on a 5-point scale, we always have students that are scoring below a 3. A 3 is a 60%, so I'm always seeing a few that are falling below that mark. When I looked at scores, no student who used the cameras for their learning target assessment scored below a 3 on the 5-point scale. This was compared to another group of students who did not use the cameras, and 20% of those students received a score below a 3 on the 5-point scale. So the challenge of showing their work gained them more points when evaluating their problem solving using a 5-point scale to evaluate it. They did a lot more work, so we didn't see a lot of failing grades, which was a very positive thing. What's next? I talked to students about what they would like to do with the cameras. What are their, some ideas that they have, and more lesson videos to explain and model examples. Student-created learning videos to share with other students. I talked about that with my pre-cal students, and maybe doing video projects, and just using the cameras more often for formative assessment. Thank you all so much.